If you looked at my life from the outside this week, it'd probably seem completely still. I wake up, I go to work, I read, I hit the gym at lunchtime, and I go home. Then I sit down at my desk, open Soundtrap, and stare at the same project that I stared at yesterday. I'll try a piano, I'll delete it, try a synth, delete it, and maybe I'll spend 20 minutes looking for the right sound, only to realize that the melody itself just wasn't very good. And before I know it, it's 11 o'clock. I close up my computer and go to bed. And tomorrow I'll probably do the exact same thing. And while this little 12 by 12 room seems small, these routines so mundane, internally there's so much going on. Let me explain. My piano skills have been improving, but not as fast as I want. Playing on time has been a difficult venture, and I've read a few books on music production, but I think learning to actually play with a metronome is just something that can't be read about. Guitar has also been a bit of a struggle. I've played since I was a kid, but now that I'm actually taking it seriously, learning my scales up and down the fretboard, the process has been extremely humbling. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it, but these things take time. Of course, each new skill learned unlocks an entirely new set of things that I can do. Each step getting me closer to making music that sounds like me. But it also opens another 5 doors that I didn't know existed. Just when I think that I understand something, I realize that there's an entirely new layer beneath it. At least I'm not in lack of things to learn. I've also been wanting to move towards long form content. I think it'll give you guys a deeper look at what goes on inside of the week of an aspiring music artist. And I know that I'd love to be able to watch someone else in my position because it's hard going day in and day out and not really seeing any reward. And on top of that, no one in arm's length who really shares in that struggle. It's lonely, terribly lonely. I think I've had a lot of people to tell me to just quit. And honestly, when there's not a lot of fruits from my labor, it really bogs the guy down. I mean, I don't mean to make it sound all bad. I have great moments where I create something that sounds amazing, at least to me, and I can finally see where all those failed attempts went, how each failure was actually just a stair step to the next level. I think the problem is that those stair steps are invisible. But anyways, nothing dramatic is happening this week. No big breakthrough, no viral video, no finished masterpiece. Maybe that's why I've been leaning on the gym so much lately. If I show up, do this amount of sets with these amount of reps, I get bigger. End of story. There's a direct connection for effort. And honestly, in my opinion, the path to leverage is so much easier. I mean, in reality, there's just two very simple rules. Eat enough calories to gain muscle, and train hard enough to break the little fibers in your muscle to grow bigger. That's it. Literally. And I don't mean to make it sound so easy. In the beginning, it never was, but after learning just a few things, I was already well on my way. And honestly, after spending hours working on music every day, it's been a comforting thought for me. Because in contrast with music, I can make 100 to 200 songs, tens of videos, and feel like I'm moving nowhere fast. The gym rewards effort, and I feel like music rewards patience. And I've been having a hard time at patience lately. But maybe that's what this week's been all about. A lesson. A lesson that there's going to be some weeks where nothing will happen, and some weeks when there's going to be an invisible foundation that's laid for future projects. Regardless, all I can really do is keep showing up. And showing up moves the needle more than you think. There's a lot of invisible bits of progress that I made that sometimes I don't even realize until way later. Like developing my ear, or learning how to make a synth, or sometimes just having better ideas. And I think it's those tiny wins that really push a pursuit forward, that stop you for a moment and make you think, maybe this is working after all. Because one of the worst things you can do is believe yourself to be in a drought. There's this phrase that I have written on a sticky note in my room and another one at work that says, we become what we think about. And I don't think it means that you can just think positively and everything magically works out. I think it means the stories that we tell ourselves slowly become our worldview. And if I keep telling myself that I'm making no progress, eventually I'm going to stop looking for the progress that's actually there. So you got to create more water sources for yourself. This journey, whatever it is that you want to do, is going to take longer than you expected. And if you don't take the time to look for somewhere where you can see at least a little bit of progress, it might be your squat finally feeling balanced or realizing a song needs less, not more. Whatever it is, those little moments remind you that you're still moving forward. Without them, you'll eventually find yourself crawling across the desert floor. So I've been trying to stay hydrated. Alex Hermosi says, in the beginning, you're fighting a bear with a stick, and by the end, you're fighting a dragon with an army. As we progress, our problems don't get easier, we just have more resources to solve them. I'm better than I was 7 months ago, and even though my problems are bigger, like me wanting to learn how to play the guitar like a god, or putting out a song that I think will actually do well, these are problems that I couldn't even imagine 6 months ago. Making a song at all would have been great, but things have changed. The bar has moved. And in your own pursuit, you might find your first run is about finishing without walking, and a year later is about shaving 30 seconds off your mile time. Starting a business begins with, can I make $1? And eventually it's, how do I build a team that doesn't need me? The first time you cook, it's about hoping it's edible, and eventually you're chasing restaurant quality food. The bar moves, and it's frustrating. But in the end, I've already won. One of life's greatest pleasures is living in the pursuit of something. I spent years of my life in no man's land, going through the motions, not really ever feeling present. And even if this isn't the vocation or venture or thing that I end up chasing, I know that I won't have regret having tried. Because nothing could be as bad as having to go back to that no man's land void of any sort of purpose. So if you made it this far, I appreciate it. And in all honesty, there's been a lot of moments of doubt throughout all of this. Late nights, early mornings, and times when I wanted to get up from my desk and just tell the song that I was working on to go fuck itself. But I always keep coming back for more. And I think part of that is just because I still want to share something with the world, even if it costs me everything. But I'll see y'all next time.